to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to thank SG Martha Poby and Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, Guang Song, for their valuable contributions. In addition, I would like to thank the Secretary General for his report on UNISFA for the period of April-October 2025, and I welcome the permanent representatives of Sudan and South Sudan in this meeting today. Mr. President, Greece remains concerned by the continued lack of progress on the political track regarding the final status of Abyei. Amid the war in Sudan and political uncertainty in South Sudan, no meetings of the Joint Political and Security Mechanism and the Abyei Joint Oversight Committee were held during the reporting period. We call on all parties to urgently resume dialogue and reactivate this mechanism. Although the security situation in Abyei remains generally stable, it remains highly unpredictable. And there is no doubt the ongoing war in Sudan continues to directly affect both the security and humanitarian situation on the ground. Mr. President, allow me to highlight 3 key points. First, Greece strongly condemns the presence and actions of the Rapid Support Forces in Abyei. As highlighted also in the Secretary General's report, RSF elements continue to operate unlawfully in the area, establishing checkpoints, interfering with community structures, and exerting control. Their takeover of facilities, detention of officials, and attempts to assert authority are deeply alarming and violate the demilitarized status of Abyei under the 2011 agreement. We call for the immediate withdrawal of all RSF elements, the release of those arbitrarily detained, and full respect of Abyei's weapons-free and neutral character. Second, we underscore the importance of security guarantees and full freedom of movement for the joint border verification and monitoring mechanism, which is essential to prevent escalation along the porous frontier. The mechanism continues to face serious security constraints, including airspace closure, seizure of UN-contracted fuel trucks, patrol restrictions, and even firing incidents against UN aircraft, forcing a temporary reduction of UNISFA's presence in Kadugli and reliance on air resupply. Unhindered movement and the safety of mission personnel are vital to maintaining stability and upholding the demilitarized status of the Abyei area. Greece, therefore, echoes the Secretary General's call for all parties to support the joint border verification and monitoring mechanism, remove all obstacles to its operations, and uphold their commitments under the 2011 agreement. Third, turning to the humanitarian situation, the needs in Abyei remain severe. The Secretary General reports that more than 12,000 people displaced by the conflict in Sudan arrived during the reporting period, further straining limited services and heightening tensions. We are also deeply concerned by the cholera outbreak, with over 1,300 suspected cases, and by widespread child malnutrition. In this regard, Greece remains deeply concerned about the protection of children, including reported cases of sexual violence against minors, the presence of armed actors, the proliferation of small arms, and ongoing displacement further heighten their vulnerability. We underscore the need for accountability, strengthened child protection monitoring, and comprehensive survivor support. Protecting children must remain central to all our efforts, in line with international humanitarian and human rights law. Mr. President, we urge donors to sustain humanitarian funding and all actors to ensure unhindered access and preserve the civilian character of Abyei. A lasting peace will depend on concrete steps from the parties. full respect of existing agreements, and continued support for inclusive local peace efforts. Greece strongly supports UNISFA and calls for the deployment of the remaining authorized police units to strengthen rule of law and community protection. In view of the upcoming renewal of UNISFA's mandate, it is vital that the mission continues to provide security on the ground in order for the political track to advance. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement.